So AEW did 970,000. To their credit, they did good, but bro, they had all the titles were on the line in the show. So it's kind of like a pay-per-view show because it was billed like it's the New York, the Arthur Ashe Stadium. So it's like I said, they do well when they have big shows. This was a big show. It just shows you like you can do shows almost as big as this on a weekly basis, but you put jobbers on there and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You put the the high who's it? The Action Andretti will be on a week. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Right.
But
we've always said this is a star-driven business. You want to put stars against stars and big matchups, not throwaway matchups. And they did it here. And the formatting has gotten better. The pacing has gotten better. I wonder if Jimmy Jacobs had something to do with that. But it was just a way easier show to digest and enjoy. For me, it was.
Right. So next, so this starts off with Claudio versus Eddie. I'm not a fan of Eddie Kingston's work at all. I love the guy's promos. His promos are excellent, but just I don't know why people think this guy is like his in-ring is any good because he doesn't really like his strikes don't really look good. He does that backhand thing. It doesn't really look that good. It doesn't. His chops are very amateurish. Claudio is selling for, but of course, then this breaks down to the typical where they stand there and they perform each other.
What I think about Eddie, having worked with him and knowing him, he almost reminds me a little bit in a way. And Joe, you followed this guy more than I did. He almost follows me. He almost reminds me in a way of Sandman. Like this is the guy that the people like. Like this is the type of guy they like to go out and drink a beer with.
Yeah.
And let me just finish.
Yeah. Sorry.
And so unlike WWE, who loves to bury you in your city, Tony loves feel-good moments like Soraya in London, Eddie in New York, and the people love him. He looks like a throwback wrestler with the gut and the beard and like a street guy. Like they like him. But what were you gonna say, Joe? Do you see any resemblance with him and Sandman or no?
Yeah, the reaction for sure. But I shouldn't have tried to talk over you because you said the same thing anyway. That I was gonna say was that. He was in New York. I would have predicted he was going to win this. I forgot they're having a match.
This is the way Eddie Kingston will be a far more credible character to me. Okay, with the way he looks in his promos, bro. If he wrestled like Dick Murdoch and 50% of his offense was standing there and punching the guy and giving like a tough like New York street fighter, but instead this kid's a mark for Japanese wrestling and strong style wrestling. He tries to do, and he looks like an indie mark cosplaying Japanese, strong style. When his look and the way he talks looks like a guy that should be doing street fighting.
Right.
And if he was doing street fighting, I would buy into him even more.
He likes the Japanese stuff and the fans like the Japanese stuff. I'd keep some of that in, but I would definitely have like a Bruiser Brody Murdoch, kicking style, because that's what he looks like. And plus, you also got to remember this: back in the day when Tony and Cody, whatever buzz was on the internet, remember when they run that guy Warhorse or Man of War, whatever? What was his name?
Was it War? I think it was Warhorse. Yeah.
Remember they brought Warhorse in because the people wanted him and all that. Well, Eddie cut a promo where he was kind of like going to quit the business, and I think he cried or something like that. And the people were like all over Tony, you got to hire this guy. And they've kind of been on this journey with Eddie, all these hardcore fans, where he's been in the indies for like 18 years and never really gotten a break. You know what I'm saying? And now he finally got one, and we helped him get him there. So they kind of feel like they went on the journey with him. You know what I'm saying? And now that I think about Warhouse or whatever, where's Danhausen? Whatever happened to that guy?
Where's
hasn't been on TV in a minute, huh?
Where's Wardlow? Where's Thunder Rosa? Where's Serena Deeb? Where's I see Bear Country and Action Andretti more than I see these people. Where's Mercedes Martinez? Where's Diamante? I see Gravity more than I see them.
So after the match, Castagnoli offers they do a handshake and hug, whatever.
Okay,
now Claudio and those guys are baby faces now, so they have to shake the guy's hands. And they were
okay, but let me explain. Let me explain that. Because in Ring of Honor, that's the deal. You have to shake the guy's hand. Win or lose.
Okay, that's right.
Right, and the great thing about that gimmick, which and Joe, you remember this, when a guy wouldn't shake another guy's hand, he'd get like real heat. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen often. Like they didn't. Yeah. What?
Yeah, it was like everybody would do it, and then I think one of the first guys to be like, was Chris Daniels. I think he was the first one to do it.
The fallen angel. And so what I do like about this is, I guess there was some heat. I didn't even know about this till they brought it up. But I guess there was some heat because back in the day, Castagnoli was supposed to do a job for Kingston, I think, before he left the WWE. Am I correct, Joe, or no?
That's what Eddie claimed.
Yeah, they just I don't know the end, like if that was the last thing that happened. They just didn't mesh for a while. They didn't.
Okay,
and
but
Eddie
the good thing is,
Eddie thought he didn't respect him. Yeah, basically.
Okay, but the good thing is they used that angle. They use that real life heat that we always complain about, Disco, to shoot an angle. You know what I'm saying? Where others haven't. It's almost like MJF, bro. Remember that story that he told once about Steven Regal?
Yes.
He told me that exact same story in a car once in MLW. So that was a true story. Like he used truth to kind of like the Samoa Joe thing. Oh, you pushed me in the hall. Probably wasn't a big thing, but he used something to make a storyline.
That he did it. Eddie did it with Punk too. The stuff he said to Punk in the ring was real. Remember, he was like, "We don't want you here. Right. Nobody wants you here."
So, of all the stuff that was on this show, all these matches, all these tag matches or the championship matches, all the titles online, this was the best part of the show. They showed footage from last week of Roddy Strong lying in a hospital bed with his neck brace and glasses on. A nurse tended to Strong while Mike Bennett and Matt Taven sat beside him, and Adam Cole called out, which led to Strong's trademark, "Adam!" Strong was surprised that Cole visited him in the hospital, and Cole said, of course he did. Taven and Bennett said they had to go to the Grand Slam and made their exit, and Cole told Strong they also had to get going because of MJF's title match with Samoa Joe. Strong gave Cole a guilt trip and then told him to just go, but the acting was over the top and very funny to me. Oh, do you like this?
Yeah. Let me tell you what was my favorite part. The guy with the shaved head, that's Taven, right?
No, that's Mike Bennett.
Okay, well, the guy
the
guy that
had
the guy that had rosary beads.
That's a Bennett. Or is that who had the beads on? I don't remember who had the beads on.
I think that was Taven.
Okay.
So the guy that had the rosary beads that was closest to Roderick, I thought that was hilarious. Like the guy's dying or something. I thought that's.
Oh, that's right. They had to be right. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. I thought you were making. I forgot about that. So Cage and Luchasaurus cut a promo that said they would walk through Sting and Darby on Rampage. Said he's bored by Allen and is ready to move on from him. And Cage proposed that Allen face him and Luchasaurus in a three-way for the TNT Championship on Collision. Cage said if Allen takes the match, Sting won't be allowed at ringside. And Cage said if Allen accepted the handicap three-way match, he caught himself. That he'd have just as much of winning as the Yankees and Mets have of winning the World Series this year. That got some discourse. So Jericho came out. Jericho comes out. He wrestles Guevara. The 16 minutes. Guevara hit him with a knee strike and hit him with the go-to-hell, the GTH finisher. And Guevara didn't go for the pin. Said he wanted for the shooting star press, but Jericho caught him with the code breaker and pinned him on the way down. He pinned him. So after the match, they get up selling. He extends his hand. Guevara accepts the handshake and they hugged. Once they ended the embrace, Guevara kicked Jericho. He closed his eyes and tilted his head back. And then Don Callis made his entrance without music and joined Guevara in the ring. And Callis put his arm around Guevara, and they left the ring together while Jericho sold the night. Don Callis got some heat. Sammy got heat out of this, so I like the what they. So
did. You were talking about the Christian Cage promo, right? Right before this, or no?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bro, I thought it was hilarious when he says, "I'll see you guys in a handicap." Three-way match.
Right. That's what it. Get right through.
Yeah. That was really good. So let me just say the only thing about this, obviously Guevara, stole a page out of his mentor's book by giving him the low blow because he did that with Shawn Michaels, if you remember. This is just me being very nitpicky. That ball shot should have looked better, and Jericho should have sold it a little bit more, but that's just me being nitpicky. I thought it was really great that Callis came out, did not have to cut a promo. The people knew he was a dastardly behind this, and he got all that heat. Yeah. So this is good. Because it's Don and Jericho booking this, and they're both very creative.
Yeah, and I did not expect this too either.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't.
When they were,
I did, which is good. I like it when I'm
right.
Oh,
right.
No, I didn't see that. Right.
Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure. I just guessed it because when I saw that he was hugging him and they were doing the close up, I was like, all right.
Oh, no, I knew that. I was like, but then they did it pretty quick after that. But I didn't know that angle. That would be the angle.
Right.
So they showed Adam Cole and MJF show up in a car, and they cut a promo. Then Cole's phone rang and he took an emergency call from Roderick Strong. MJF asked Cole if he would have his back. Then Cole said he would, but he said it was an emergency and said, like, Roddy, you're not going to die, dude, before exiting the picture.
That was good, too.
Right.
Yeah, so far the show's been good.
So backstage, Guevara and Callis, they asked if Guevara's a Callis family. Callis cut her off and said it had been revealed on Rampage. Then they were walking down, and Daniel Garcia came up with what type of facial expression would you say Daniel Garcia had here?
Kind of like, what are you doing, dude?
Well, it's kind of very. You'd like to think he would have had a more like facial expression like that, but it's just like to this typical. Guevara started.
I like when Don goes, "He's money." Yeah.
Yeah. Then Callis pulled Guevara away and said, he's money."
Right.
Yeah, Garcia's got the gimmick now with the dancing. He's getting over it. He needs to work on his facials.
Right.
I mean, that comes from standing in the mirror and doing acting.
You know what?
Works on his facials because he's got a chance to get over really, really big here.
And Don and Chris will help him with that, and but I think that I think that what do you call this? Sammy and Danny together remind me kind of like like Austin Theory and the other guy and Grayson Waller, like they're kind of like the future, and I think they would. Hey, wait 1 second, let's separate.
Do not edit this.
No, of course not.
Hey.
Once you put put one of those dogs on a leash.
No, he's outside.
Yeah, that dog looks like he likes to fight.
Yeah, he's a little troublemaker.
Stacy. All right, sorry guys.
All right,
so you wanted to see the beginning, the first flip bump,
but we're going to talk about the match first. Well, there's really not much to talk about. Moxley wrestled Fenix. Whatever they did is relevant because they did a dive from the stage to the floor on Moxley. Moxley got his bell rung. They went in and the match kind of broke down from there because obviously I think Moxley got concussed. Phoenix gave Moxley the pile driver finish, the reverse pile driver, the thing, and it looked brutal. Moxley didn't kick out, so he had to have been completely knocked silly. And I guess they did an audible and gave it to him again. Yeah.
Sorry.
So maybe that wasn't the finish, is what you're saying?
No, time out on that, DI.
When he was supposed to kick out, it looked like
he was not. He told the ref to count 3 on that, and the ref did not.
Is that what they said?
The first one, the reason he laid dead.
So really, so even though like he had a concussion, the referee screwed that up.
Yeah. Mox told him to count 3. I can't.
And the ref.
It's done.
And the ref did it. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the finish.
Right.
No.
It wasn't the finish.
Right.
And the referee probably never got the communication to count the 3 because Moxley's probably messed up, and he probably saying like, and the referee probably didn't know that Moxley was messed up because Moxley probably said count to 3, and probably
maybe he didn't. Bro, how many times has this happened? The crowd's so loud you don't even hear the ref. Maybe he didn't even hear him. Maybe his bell was wrong. So a lot of things. Yeah.
Well, the bottom line is Phoenix goes over and wins the belt.
Right.
He wasn't supposed to. He wasn't supposed to.
Right.
So this was a finish that wasn't supposed to happen. Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, because it sounds like
your boy Ray Phoenix stole the victory because he could.
Where did you get the information he wasn't supposed? I believe that too, Joe. By the way, but where did you get that information?
I think it was a SAP report, but here, like from beginning to end, he gets concussed with the flip that we're going to see. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So then, wait. So then, when Phoenix hits him with the first pile driver, Moxley tried to communicate to the ref, count 3. The ref didn't hear him, and he stopped. That's why there was the second pile.
Okay, but
the original. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, originally Moxley was not supposed to lose. Okay.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Right, that's what I'm thinking. Because Phoenix was very emotional. I was like, really, dude? You won belts before. So he didn't expect it. And he didn't know that because of him accidentally hurting him, they made an audible. But you could tell way before the first thing, that's the Steiner driver, right? That's
exactly.
Yeah, bro, let me just tell you this. If you look at my body of work, you've never seen me hit anybody with pile drivers because I always thought that was too dangerous, and I saw a lot of people get hurt from it and other variations not being done right. And this guy did that to me once. It was called the Steiner screwdriver.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner did that to me, but bro, Steiner does it with a lot more force. He don't take care of you.
Bro,
he starts up in a suplex.
That move is very, very, very dangerous.
Right. And I went up to him in the dressing room, knowing full well he'd probably think, "Oh, what?" And I was like, "Bro, don't ever do that to me again." Because I was very lucky he didn't break my neck, and he didn't do it again.
Everybody's
That's a
looking to
dangerous
break
move.
your neck on that.
Especially not only that, Disco, as you know, when you're holding somebody up like that, Joe, when you're holding somebody that's heavier than you, you have to be extra cautious to hold on to him, bro. That's his whole body weight going on his neck. And he was kind of sloppy with it.
Well,
and before that, let me just say this. And before that, and this is really interesting. I don't know if you noticed this, Disco or Joe. Remember, there was a part where they both went into the ropes and Moxley was kind of lost and they were kind of talking and they messed up like a spot. Like he was way out of it before that Frankensteiner or Diner driver, Venus driver, whatever.
Remember, Bigelow used to do something like that.
But he took care of you, bro.
Yeah,
like
when he landed
right on his thighs.
Okay,
you're on his thighs. Yeah, exactly.
Here's what you have to do that move to protect the guy. You have to have big thighs to begin with.
Right. That helps a lot. Like Steiner
it helps everything
Bigelow.
Because the distance of the thickness of your thigh, and if you get the wrestle, when you take it, you're supposed to kind of tuck your chin in and shrug your shoulders in. Okay, so so now the distance from your shoulders to the top of your head is covered by the guy's thighs, and you have to bring your thighs together. Phoenix's thighs were out like this.
Right.
So like his head went
like a power bomb. Like a power bomb. Bro, you know who would who would be a good finish for that? For him?
Wardlow.
Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed too. And Wardlow, yeah,
Bronson Reed, because he's got these big, giant, fat thighs, right? Right. That's a good finish. Because that's
so show the dive, Beanie, Joe. Thank you.
Yep. I don't know what. And then as soon as you go to scroll down, the play thing disappears. All right, here we go.
He's going to get a running starting on the ramp. Fenix.
Ooh! Oh!
Yeah.
What happened?
His leg,
I really didn't see it.
His head, the side of his head hits the ground. And bro, when the side of your head hits, that's like a more prone for concussion than anything else, you know?
Far back. Right, yeah. Watch, he goes down, and now here comes the dive. Watch his head. Boing.
Yeah. Side of his head. Boy, you can hear the thud,
his pushes his head.
So he broke.
Right.
So it's almost like he broke the fall with the side of his head. Right. It's landed on his head.
He
right.
Exactly did. Exactly did. Right. Yeah. So that's that. Right. So and then he gives the two.
You have the spot where they're by the ropes, all kind of, or no?
Look at his face.
He's out of it. But there's the communication problem there because Phoenix's English is that great. Right. You know what I'm saying?
He don't know where he is. Yeah, look at him.
He doesn't. Right. Yeah, he's completely. Bro, you know what Meltzer reported? They said, and this is why did they do this? We all saw this. Then he takes 2 more head traumas back in the ring on those pile drivers, right? They said he was diagnosed with a mild concussion.
He can't get up.
Like, give me a break. That's not a mild concussion. That's a concussion.
Wow, look at him.
You know, a mild concussion is like what I had, where I didn't have any symptoms except when I went home and I tried to put the security code in my house. I just couldn't remember what the thing, but at no point was I ever out of it or anything. This guy's completely out of it. That's not a mild concussion.
But you remember your password.
Okay,
so
well, that's very disrespectful. That's not necessary.
I'm sorry.
He should have.
Man. So at this point,
we don't have to dissect the rest. We saw what happened. He gets a pile of drugs.
Yeah.
But that's the spot.
Well, can we see? Can I just see the finish? The first finish and this.
Yep.
Go ahead, Disco. What are you saying?
No, I was going to let you watch this. Yeah, that's the second one. Go back, Joe.
Okay, yeah.
Joe, go.
I'm going back. Here's one.
Boom. And that looked brutal. Like you've already had a concussion, you get your head hit again.
1, 2, and he's Moxie's looking at him there. I guess he's trying to.
But he can't communicate. So it's flat. You know.
Yeah, he might be slurring.
2.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, they're both.
That one
was.
You're like, God, that's. I mean, you got to know what's. I mean, Phoenix probably didn't really know what's up either. Probably. You got to need to ask him about that. Say, hey, did you know that Moxley was messed up in there? Because it doesn't look like he knows he was messed up. You know. Right. All right. So that's enough.
I will ask him.
And then there's creepy surveillance like photos of Tony outside Moxley's trailer or something. I don't know. There's supposed to be some arguing. I don't know if that's accurate.
All right. So next is Phoenix wins. So Joe gives a promo backstage about the match. Now we go to Toni Storm and Saraya. Bro, this is too much. This is where the AEW just gets too much. Let me read this spot to you, okay? Storm threw a series of punches at Saraya, which got a rise out of the crowd. Storm removed the bottom turnbuckle pad, and the referee took it away. Storm picked up a spray paint can. Soho climbed onto the apron and took it away. Saraya ended up with the spray paint can and sprayed Storm's face with it. Saraya put Storm down with a DDT. I got a 2 count.
Right.
Bro, why even do that spot? That's like bro, if
Because
you're
they're
doing,
trying
like,
to get the pop for the false finish.
it's just like,
And it
but
did
that's,
get a pop, but that's what
yeah,
they're doing. You asked,
right,
right?
yeah, that's the way
Just
that's the way
like,
they
bro,
work.
the spot where she gave her the kiss and then she hit her with the move should have been the end right there, and they popped out of that. I will say this: for women's matches, at least they had some good false finishes, which we usually don't see. But they could have, but should have ended the match when she hit her with the kiss and she hit her with the shoe. I thought it was more entertaining than usual. They're two strong characters. I think they should have given the title to Strong because to Storm, even though Soraya actually needs it more because Storm's getting over with that. And I said this last week, and I think I was right. She looks like one of these over dramatic art actresses from the 1920s, and I must be right because they brought her out in black and white. Kind of doing how they used to act back in the day. This was more entertaining than usual because you have two strong characters.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing stuff that extreme, and that's a 2 count in a match when that's an angle that like should put somebody out for like a month because they're right. You do a spot like that you come out with a blindfold like the Sandman. I don't know, but that's
Yeah,
the AEW style. Let's
get pops
because that's how
Or
the crowd.
even
That's how the cadence of the crowd works.
right.
They
got two big pops off of that. Yeah,
that's like what they come for.
right.
So.
Because how the
even
guys
years,
work. Yeah.
Right.
Years later, Tajiri sprayed. Do you remember Nadia?
Yes.
Yeah.
She won Tough Enough. She was Jamie Noble's manager, and Tajiri hit her with the
said
black
yes.
mist. And she came out with the dark glasses and the cane for weeks that they milked.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
All right. So then we go to Joe.
And I can also say one more thing. There was one huge botch to me, which was right at the end. She came to hit her with that hip attack, yeah, and Soraya had already moved out of the way, and she still went for it. And I was like,
yeah,
you're on
TV.
The timing was atrocious, like
right.
And they didn't do a good job, like of course the cameras aren't smart enough to like get out, out of it. So basically, MJF and Joe,
good match.
Good match to get the Joe catches MJF in the coquina clutch. MJF pulled the referee in and caught Joe with a low blow. MJF pulled out the diamond ring and tried to use it, but the referee caught him and took it away. Joe kicked MJF in the head with a muscle buster. Another near fall. Joe acted stunned over MJF kicking out of his finisher. Joe put MJF in the coquina clutch again. He started to fade like Hulk Hogan would. Then Adam Cole runs out to ringside and jumped off the apron and totally hurt his ankle because he limped after that and supposedly on crutches after the show. Yeah, Adam Cole got hurt too on this. When he jumped off the stage onto the floor, he twisted his ankle or maybe broke it. Something's bad because he was on crutches after the show. He came limping. Then Joe, so MJF bit Joe's hand to break it, applied a sleeper of his own, and Joe shoved him in the corner. They did a dive out of the ring, but the ref out of the ring to avoid being hit by Joe and MJF and stayed down. The referee dove out of the ring to avoid being hit by Joe and MJF and stayed down. As the trainer checked on the ref, Cole distracted Joe. MJF used some of his wrist tape to choke Joe with and put him in a sleeper hold, and he choked him out. And I'm not a fan of this. After the match, Joe woke up and shoved Cole. Then MJF got between Joe and Cole while selling neck pain, and Joe offered MJF his hand. MJF looked at it and looked into the crowd, and MJF accepted, and Joe shook his hand and left the ring without further incident. Bro, if a heel gets outsmarted 2x1, I'd be, and he's a killer.
Why are you shaking his hand?
I would like grab. Yes, bro. This is like when we.
I would have left them both laying and left some heat on Joe. But they don't build heat.
Three matches had handshakes and hugs after the match, and one of them was a turn.
Let me say a couple things. So a couple months ago, if you remember, people were like, "Oh, MJF isn't all that, and he's over, blah blah blah." What do you say to that now? The guy's super over, bro. He does heel tactics, and the people don't give a. That's how much they like him. I will say a couple things that I liked. First of all, a lot of people may be too young to remember this, but I know Disco remembers, and I don't know how MJF would, but he must have seen it somewhere. The thing they did before his match was a straight thing from remember the Mean Joe Green Coke commercial with the little kid in the remember he did the thing with the little kid we told him he was adopted.
The Bret Hart thing.
To me that's the Mean Joe Green thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was good. I like the fact how he had tape all over his neck, kind of like saying, "Hey, my neck is hurt." The only thing he's missing is a neon sign saying it's hurt. But this was good. The people really like him. I didn't know this guy broke his ankle or twisted it jumping off the thing. Is there another thing Bro, that spot, they could have gotten so much more out of it. You know that Hulk spot, Disco?
Yes.
You know how they lift your arm like twice, and then on the third one you keep it up?
Yeah.
They did it on the very first one. They could have
Right.
gotten so much more out of that.
Right.
But that's just a nitpicky thing. I thought it was a good show.
Yep, I did too. But then plus two, this was actually like their third pay-per-view in a month. This is a pay-per-view show. Like, because actually,
Yeah, it is.
this card, these matches were higher profile matches than the show they did in Chicago, and you got it for free on TV. They did a good number, So like, I mean, you would have hoped they would have done over 1 million, but like, we'll take 970 because
that was still a great number.
Yeah, increase of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a free pay-per-view, so it wasn't, and it didn't, 4 high profile matches, and unfortunately the Moxley thing was kind of like a wet blanket, but everything else they liked, so whatever. The decent show.